The African National Congress has long employed a policy known as cadre deployment. This system involves placing party loyalists in key positions throughout government and state-owned enterprises. While the ANC justifies the practice as essential for achieving its goals of transformation and redress, it has sparked heated debate and controversy. Recently, the South African courts delivered a landmark decision granting the Democratic Alliance, the official opposition party, access to the ANC's internal documents outlining its cadre deployment strategy. This ruling fueled public interest in the practice, with online inquiries exploding around terms like ANC cadre deployment process, ANC cadre deployment criteria, and ANC cadre deployment impact. For many, the central question remains: is cadre deployment right or wrong? Proponents cite the need to dismantle apartheid's legacy and ensure diverse representation in leadership roles. However, critics warn that the policy undermines meritocratic principles, weakens institutions, and opens the door to nepotism and corruption. The court's decision has ignited hopes for increased transparency and accountability within the ANC. However, legal challenges and ongoing debate suggest the issue is far from settled. Whether cadre deployment ultimately serves the public good or undermines democracy remains a question demanding further scrutiny and open discussion. At the heart of the DA's argument lies a deep-seated suspicion of the ANC's opaque cadre deployment policy. This policy allows the ruling party to place its loyalists in key positions within the public sector. The DA argues that without access to the deployment documents, it's impossible to scrutinize whether this process suffers from nepotism, patronage, and a lack of meritocratic selection. For years, the DA has highlighted cases where seemingly unqualified party members were appointed to crucial government roles, raising concerns about potential misuse of public resources. They point to the disastrous state of many South African state-owned enterprises as evidence of the detrimental effects of cadre deployment gone wrong. In 2020, a report by the Public Service Commission found that only 13% of senior public servants met all the required qualifications for their positions, further fueling the DA's claims. However, critics argue that the DA's pursuit of transparency might be masking a more political agenda. With South Africa's 2024 elections on the horizon, the DA could potentially use the cadre deployment documents to expose embarrassing details about the ANC, swaying voters towards them. Concerns about the ethical implications of such an approach are valid. Weaponizing sensitive information for political gain could tarnish the DA's image and further erode public trust in institutions. Moreover, releasing confidential information regarding individuals not directly involved in wrongdoing could raise privacy concerns and potential legal challenges. The truth, as is often the case, lies somewhere in the murky middle. The DA's desire for transparency is understandable, given the potential for abuse within the cadre deployment system. However, their political motivations cannot be entirely ignored, especially considering the timing of their request. Ultimately, the public will have to weigh the potential benefits of increased transparency against the risks of political manipulation and ethical breaches. The ANC firmly believes that cadre deployment serves as a tool for transformation, addressing the legacies of apartheid. As the party that fought for and ushered in democracy, it argues that placing loyal members in strategic positions ensures the implementation of its policies and fosters a government reflective of the country's demographics. For example, prior to 1994, black South Africans were largely excluded from senior government roles. Cadre deployment aimed to rectify this disparity, bringing diverse voices and perspectives to decision-making tables. Supporters emphasize the policy's role in promoting racial and gender equality. In 2022, women held 54% of ministerial positions, demonstrating a stark contrast to the apartheid era. This progress, they argue, is partly attributable to cadre deployment, ensuring opportunities for historically marginalized groups. Opponents of cadre deployment raise concerns about its potential to undermine meritocratic principles. They argue that prioritizing loyalty over competence weakens institutions and hinders effective governance. Instances where individuals lacking the necessary qualifications or experience are appointed due to political affiliation fuel these concerns. Critics point to studies suggesting a negative correlation between cadre deployment and performance in certain sectors. Furthermore, opponents highlight the potential for corruption and patronage networks to flourish under such a system. The lack of transparent selection processes and accountability mechanisms raises concerns that political connections may trump qualifications, leading to misallocation of resources and poor service delivery. The 2018 State Capture Commission uncovered instances where politically connected individuals benefited from irregular tenders and contracts, adding weight to these concerns. Legally, the court hinged its decision on the principle of open access to information of public interest. The PAIA empowers citizens to request information held by public entities, and the court deemed the ANC's cadre deployment, considering its impact on government appointments, to fall under this purview. Notably, the ruling referenced previous cases establishing the public's right to scrutinize the use of public resources, citing how cadre deployment directly influences who occupies key positions in state institutions. This decision represents a significant victory for transparency and accountability. By allowing public scrutiny of the ANC's deployment practices, the court empowered the DA and, by extension, the public to hold the ruling party accountable for its choices. This has the potential to deter patronage and nepotism, ensuring appointments are based on merit and competence rather than political affiliation. However, the road ahead is not without its challenges. The ANC has expressed reservations, hinting at potential appeals, highlighting concerns about protecting confidential party information. Additionally, the released documents may not provide a complete picture, raising questions about the possibility of redacted or missing information. Despite these concerns, the court's decision sets a crucial precedent. It empowers citizens and opposition parties to demand transparency and hold the government accountable for its deployment practices. The impact of this ruling could extend beyond the ANC, potentially fostering a culture of increased transparency across all political parties in South Africa. While legal battles and debates may continue, the court's decision marks a significant step towards strengthening democratic principles and ensuring responsible governance in the country. The ANC outlines broad principles for selecting fit and proper individuals for deployment, including loyalty, skills, experience, and commitment to its values. However, critics argue these criteria remain opaque, lacking clear and objective benchmarks. The lack of publicly available information on selection processes fuels concerns about nepotism and undue political influence, even though the ANC maintains internal vetting and competency assessments. Studies exploring the policy's impact have yielded mixed results. Some suggest it has contributed to increased African and female representation in leadership positions, aligning with the ANC's transformative goals. However, others point to negative consequences, like a decline in service delivery and increased corruption due to appointments based on loyalty rather than competence. More comprehensive and independent studies are needed to paint a clearer picture. The policy remains a lightning rod for criticism, with several ongoing controversies highlighting its potential pitfalls. The recent appointment of an allegedly unqualified individual to a key public position reignited concerns about cronyism. Additionally, questions linger around the role of cadre deployment in state capture scandals, where politically connected individuals allegedly exploited their positions for personal gain. Ultimately, the future of cadre deployment hinges on navigating the tension between achieving transformation and upholding good governance principles. Transparency is a crucial first step, but thorough analysis, open discussions, and potential policy revisions are vital in ensuring a system that serves the best interests of South Africa and its citizens. The journey towards a clear and equitable approach to cadre deployment remains ongoing, with the recent developments sparking crucial conversations and paving the way for potential reforms. Only time will tell if the clouds surrounding this policy will dissipate, revealing a system that effectively balances representation, accountability, and the nation's progress. Thanks for watching. Please comment, like, share and subscribe.